What's good, everyone, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we are reacting to Deltarune Chapter 2, GASTER, Pipis Eggs, Part 8. Now, the last one I found very funny, especially with the one with the whole present. So I'm kind of curious to see if this can actually top that one, the last part. So, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content provided, and so on and so forth. You'll know if you have done it if the subscribe button is no longer red. So yeah, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button to do all that. Hit the notification button to be notified immediately when new videos come out, because I got some pretty interesting videos coming up, so just letting you know. Also, the link to this video will be down in the description below, so if you want to check out the original video, go ahead and do that. But you can also go ahead and click the link to give Two Left Thumbs some love and support for the video that they made that I'm reacting to. Other than that, if you have any videos that you would like to recommend that I should react to, leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll react to it as soon as possible. Other than that, let's start this video.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Graham, and welcome to Two Left Thumbs. This is more GASTER eggs. Without plugging anything too specifically, I would ask that you guys go and check out Two Left Thumbs over on Steam. We released the roguelike shooter Dead Estate 2 months ago, and coming up in 20...
Okay, don't want to take credit there. Okay, here we go.
For instances where Toby is obviously laying a trail of breadcrumbs for us. In Chapter 1, we had these strings of text that were simply titled Unused. These are intentionally left buried in the code. It's the sort of thing he did all the time in Undertale. In Chapter 1, we had Where am I? Hello? Anyone? Is anybody out there? Someone? Anyone? Can anyone hear me? It's dark. It's so dark here. Someone, anyone, if you can hear me, say something, please. And this has been continued on in Chapter 2. No one can hear me, can they? I guess not. To be honest, I'm not sure I can hear myself. It's so quiet here, and yet sometimes I swear I hear something. Something like scratching. We don't know who's lost or where, but expect this to be built upon in future chapters, slowly building up the mystery. Man, it actually kind of makes me wish these chapters were dropping just one at a time. I've loved slowly watching all of this unfold. At the end of the previous episode, I missed a bit of dialogue with Sham where he describes the missing shadow mantle. If you talk to him again, you have collected 2 shadow crystals. Unfortunately, without the shadow mantle, at 2 you may remain. Fate is approaching, and it is not on your side. There are many unused...
That's a, shoot, I forgot the word. You know, it's just that's a chilly way to say it. That's not awful. Forget what I just said. Just forget it.
Items, equipments, armors, weapons, all sorts of things in the game files. Seemingly the most important is the unused Sky Mantle, a cape that shimmers fluorescently, protects against electric and holy attacks. There are currently no attacks in the game that have the holy element set. Considering the significance of the angel to the Deltarune prophecy, and the fact that one of the chapters of this game is definitely going to take place in or around the church, we've received a few hints for that, we can expect this holy element to become important around that time. The background of Sham's shop was drawn by Temmie Chang. It was changed very slightly for Chapter 2, made to much more closely resemble Temmie's original character, who starred in her own original game, Dweller's Empty Path.
That's a interesting detail that I never heard before.
At the very beginning of Chapter 1, Ralsei's kindness is set to 100. Similar to the way that Susie starts off with 100 rudeness and crudeness. Throughout the first chapter, we start to chip away at Susie's rudeness down now to 99. And by the time we've reached Chapter 2, we've seen further changes. Susie's rudeness has wound down to about 89. And for some reason, Ralsei now has sweetness instead of kindness, and it has been knocked off of that 100 mark. I recorded some of the next bits of footage like a month ago. I really thought they had made it into a video and kind of just got lost in the shuffle. That's what happens when you make this many videos on the subject. When heading down through this traffic towards the area where we have the dog surprise, there is one lone door in all of the cyber world that can be interacted with. Knock, knock, knock. You found the only knockable door in the city. This here is my pride and joy.
Are you serious? There's a door. That wasn't just decoration. What the frick? That's just very dumb.
And there's no further interactions with it. That is the one and only payoff of that joke. While I'm back down here, I wanted to share that Toby messed with us 2 years before this chapter dropped. Sharing a picture of this annoying white dog in a little toy car. This is the last thing you see before you die. And somehow, he wasn't kidding. You can collect flavored teas of each individual character.
Seen the whole dog kill someone before, so I think it was already mentioned, so not really that surprised about it.
The gag surrounding that is quite funny, but then we can start feeding everyone teas flavored like each other, and there's a few funny interactions that spawn from that. If we first take the Chris tea, Susie has no reaction. Giving it to Susie, hell yeah, apple juice. Don't drink so fast. Giving it to Ralsei, tastes like blueberries. Huh? Really? Giving the Susie tea to Chris, stop looking at me. They seem into it. Susie tea to Susie, this is tea? And to Ralsei, it's grape juice. Huh? Really? And the Ralsei tea to Chris, no reaction. I'm happy. To Susie, hey, it's like marshmallows. Don't drink so fast. And to Ralsei, isn't this water? We can also get the Noel tea to hand out. Do they like it? They're drinking it. To Susie, hell yeah, eggnog. Don't drink so fast. And to Ralsei, it's soft and sweet. And giving everything to Noel, do they like it or not? Noel tea to herself, this is just water. You're pranking me, right? Chris tea tastes like cinnamon. What is this aftertaste? Because of when Noelle leaves the party, you actually have to hack the game to be able to give her the Ralsei or Susie teas, but there is still dialogue programmed in the game for it. Ralsei tea, there's nothing in here. And Susie tea, wonder if they sell this in gallons. And you'll notice that the Susie tea here...
Holy Scheiße. 400 HP. Well, dang. 400 HP by just giving Noelle Susie's tea? Well, makes sense.
400. Far more than any other specific interaction. So nothing is really consistent between the characters. I know there's a video that exists that is the Deltarune tea theory. I haven't watched it myself. After I finish making my own videos here, I should really go give that a watch, because there is seemingly a lot to be read into these interactions. The way Lancer specifically dances and spins around through our inventory appears to be a reference to the secret of Mana Shopkeeper. The dance moves are just very specific and seem to be pulling
It does seem similar, admittedly.
directly from that. That's so specific, and I absolutely love it, and I'm fairly confident this is intended. Now, obviously, trapping mice is a thing, but very specifically, having this little red cage makes me think that it's all intended to be a reference to the board game Mousetrap. This third annoying mouse room puzzle really seems to indicate that time is of the essence, encouraging you to move things as quickly as possible. You're lucky Des isn't here, otherwise you'd be face down in a mouse pile. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so mad. Sure, okay, we can try again. And if you literally just never do the puzzle, every time the mice pop up and save you, and progress things without any input from you. So you can actually complete the entire puzzle without doing a single thing. And with Birdley's line, even a broken clock is right once a day, she has the joke wrong. If a 12-hour clock were frozen on a certain time of day, it would be right twice a day. So the gag there is that he's just wrong about that. There are two different versions of the
Not wrong. Though now that I think about it, if it's at 12 o'clock, would that technically be twice a day or 3 times a day? Because technically, when it gets to midnight, it's a new day. But at the same time, it was from the previous day. Is that 2 or 3 times a day? Because of that technicality.
teacup ride. One where Noelle gets left behind and one where she joins. First, where she gets to join. Look, Chris, another teacup ride. But there's only 3 seats. Maybe 2 of us could share one? Damn, guess we gotta take the stairs. Up top, Noelle volunteers to stay standing on the switch. We have the clue up top, the treasure of air, where 3 are 1, place 1 to 3. Perhaps it means we all have to enter 1 teacup? Well, I don't like doing it, but it works. After you drop Noelle off to volunteer, we can flip a switch up in the top right, and as we come back down... Wait for me! She joins back up to the party, and with all 4 of us at the teacups, you all jumped into 1 teacup. You heard a clicking sound. Hell no, like we're doing that again. Instead, if after dropping Noelle off, you climb back down the stairs, skipping the switch at the top. You all jumped into 1 teacup. You heard a clicking sound. Hell no, like we're doing that again. And up top, we can open the chest for...
So nothing really changes there. It's just Noelle can come
some balloons.
or not.
Yay! And as we return, so, why were you all riding a teacup together? Ugh, balloons. Balloons? Trust me, you dodged a bullet. Okay. Susie warns, hurry up, Lancer's getting pale. But I like pails. This is a bit of a callback to Chapter 1, when Lancer threatens to put all of our blood in a big pail, which itself was a Homestuck reference, which then potentially ties back together specifically with this room of the light, or rather shadow puzzle. The pink house itself is somewhat like the Homestuck logo. While it's certainly not a one-to-one, people have suggested that maybe these different symbols are meant to represent some of the different aspects from the Homestuck series. This wave could either be breath or life. The radiating sun could be the aspect of light. And then, I don't know, this big blob of a cloud or something could be hope. Definitely the least identifiable. It's all pretty loose. I'm not overly confident in any of it, but it's kind of interesting with the connection to Pails, and we know that Toby's simply been heavily involved in that series. After Ralsei rejoins the team, these Swatchlings have something to say about it. Ralsei, good luck. Although you only joined us for minutes, we'll miss you. Once you push Lancer all the way to the table for his little spaghetti dinner, and if you leave and come back, the spaghetti is missing. He seems to be well taken care of. Somehow, still managing to eat his dinner? Checking this horn by yourself.
That's confusing. So he ate it with no problem? That's confusing. Or did when the servants feed him?
It tells us about Susie fitting her head in the tube, coming back with her. Hey Chris, if you blasted flames down this horn thing, you think it would torch the other side? Why are you using that face now? Checking the computer, it says that it can't play the skateboarding game. Look, I know what you're thinking. And no, the skateboard game doesn't work on this, even though there's seemingly 2 copies of it. Totally bogus. There is a item you can buy that is the butt juice, short for butler juice. It changes color with temperature, same as the Swatchlings do. And if you try to give it to Susie specifically, how'd you call this? Reacting to the butt juice. And we also have spaghetti code, woven by master coders. The spaghetti code item is a reference to a running joke that Team Fortress 2 has, quote, spaghetti code. Basically, building a game over that many years makes the code increasingly complex and unwieldy. It's been documented that the developers started leaving notes to themselves in the code over how poorly some of it was strung together, leading to jokes about spaghetti code.
That was a thing? I really need to look at some of this stuff.
Concept and joke has now been
But later in the future.
all sorts of games, and really when it comes down to it, all games kind of have spaghetti code because making games is hard and it rarely comes out as you intended when first writing things out. And then from there it's just a matter of trying to adapt, change, and fix things as you go. So while there's an origin for spaghetti code, basically every game is spaghetti code. Oh me, oh my, the kitchen is infested with vermin. I knew we should have properly finished dumping all the cheese in that alleyway, which gives us a little bit of context as to why there was an...
Alright. That was a thing. I actually forgot that was a thing.
alleyway that was...
It was so weird.
Cheese. I thought about including every one of Susie and Ralsei's S&R actions, but most of them just aren't that interesting, but I really like the one when used against the mouse. Susie got on all fours and chased the mouse around the room like an animal. Ralsei started putting peanut butter on a spoon and put it in a trap. Susie was captured. Susie? The hell are you blaming me for? You made the trap. The mouse wheels line, rolling around at the speed of mouse, is a reference to rolling around at the speed of sound, the first line of the Cityscape theme from Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, I love that. I love Cityscape. One of the best songs in years. It's still iconic even today, to be honest. Especially after Sonic Generations. That song was amazing. Too bad the Dreamcast era died. Or was it GameCube? You could play Sonic Adventure 1 on the GameCube. Oh wait, no, you could play it both on the Dreamcast. Just remembered something important.
The top of the mansion, there's a book here about preventing backtracking.
Maybe I should play a Sonic game
Shelf
in the
specifically
future.
blocking a pathway that would allow us to easily backtrack. This is today's dinner entertainment. I've heard it's called The Birth of a Fountain. What an elegant name. This is a reference to an old film, Birth of a Nation, one of the most controversial films ever made, as it is considered a fantastically well-made film, but it is one that argues in favor of racism, with the KKK being seen as the story's heroes. It's actually pretty dark to think the Queen is brainwashing and indoctrinating her subjects like this, if the actual subject matter shares anything in common. Considering how careful this series is, how it uses and presents character pronouns, I find it very interesting that the knight is specifically referred to as it, creating a fountain by its hand, not he, she, or their. That could just be to keep a little bit of the mystery going, or it could actually be a little piece of evidence. And again, towards the end, when the Queen is describing the knight, it deigned to create this world. Reaching its long hand to the sky, it coursed its will into its blade. Potentially, this is just used because these characters appear to know nothing about the knight. Queen threatens Noel to listen and stop hesitating. If you don't come, a certain bird might take a ride in the acid river, sounding as though she's directly threatening Birdly, but as we eventually see, this is something quite literal, not even a lie.
Oh, misconcepting truth. Right, got it. That just finally clicked in my head when that was said, so yeah. I really forgot about that kind of subject, misleading truth.
It's no secret that Toby is a big fan of the French RPG Maker game Off. It's a well-known cult classic. Both games were obviously inspired by Earthbound, and this section ties in a few references. There are also sections of Off that need to be navigated with a swan boat, in that game crossing a river of meat. And as a funny visual reference, it kind of works as an inverse where the land is neon green, and in Deltarune, it's the acid river that's neon green. And the melody of this track, Acid Tunnel of Love, has some similarities to the song featured in Off, A Stab of Happiness. If you insist.
I'm surprised that was a thing in the game. Sounds familiar. I don't think I ever played the game. I think I know someone that did play the game and showed me it, but I don't think so. Well, maybe. I don't remember a lot of stuff. Since I've been so busy, I tend to forget stuff.
On fighting rules, rather than taking part in the little mini-game, there's some extra dialogue. Oweth, the houses, thou'st fool, the houses! Stop hitting with me and playeth my mini-game, you rogues! And after just a few short attacks, you won. Except then Rules immediately claims that he won. When you had the duck thrash machine, and Rules sicks it upon you, fly, my ducky, fly! This is potentially a reference to the infamously misquoted line from The Wizard of Oz. Everyone always quotes it as, fly, my pretties, fly. I even had that in my own head. Apparently it's actually just now, fly, fly. Now fly! while later calling Dorothy my pretty. Over the years, we've just kind of mashed the two of those together. When we pose for our photo crossing the river, choosing to do the peace sign is a reference to Earthbound, when the photo guy randomly shows up and Ness gives them the peace sign. Even the way Ralsei and Chris turn towards the screen rather than the camera could be mimicking the way Ness would
Well, Toby does like Earthbound, so it would make sense why he would do it.
similarly face the screen rather than the photo guy. When on the Ferris wheel discussing looking out the window, Susie says seeing everything small makes her feel like Susie Zilla or something. I could wreck the whole city. This is paid off at the end of the game, if somewhat indirectly. When Chris and Susie are watching TV together on the couch, they're watching a purple dinosaur on the TV who's wrecking the city. A giant monster movie special. Always liked them better than the giant human movies. Seemingly watching some version of a Susie Zilla-like program. Susie telling Birdly, "May the smarts be with you," is meant to be a riff on "May the force be with you."
May the force be with you. Goodbye, old friend. May the force be with you.
And
Yeah. It works that way. And I'm a Star Wars fan, and I don't think I even recognize that. I failed my community. For shame.
Birdly follows that up later with "May the smarts not be with you." The Queen mentions our screens
Oh,
of
piss
funny
off.
animals and candied games. Which funny animals could just be any sort of meme or silly cat video, anything like that. But candied games is potentially a reference to popular mobile games like Candy Crush. The Queen herself even admits that she's primarily a mobile gamer. Did you enjoy your room? There was a mint under the electric cage. Don't make a mistake, this is not a hotel. This is likely a nod to a track from the Undertale soundtrack. Can you really call this a hotel? I didn't receive a mint on my pillow or anything. When we bring Susie back to Birdly, such data is soon to my ears. This is a reference to the common anime archetype, tsundere. I can't quite hit my R's the way that you're supposed to in Japanese. The terms sun means to turn away in disgust or anger, while dere is to become affectionate. I've tried my best with the pronunciation. It's my first stab I've ever taken.
I'm surprised about those references. And I recently did a Danganronpa video that commented on tsundere. Huh. How about that, apples? I do that, and I get this. It's so weird.
So turning away in disgust and to become affectionate, Birdly is implying that Susie is a tsundere character arc where she is rude to him to hide her feelings and will eventually become affectionate. What the hell are you saying? How about a kiss for luck? Now that is a common thing and has been around for centuries, a kiss for luck. But the way it's presented here is seemingly directly a reference to everybody's favorite Zelda game, Link, the Faces of Evil.
How about a kiss for luck?
You've got to be kidding.
It's somewhat generic, but knowing the way Toby likes to reference this game and series,
Yeah, I can see it. The total references being actually kind of true. Yeah, I can see it.
it's much more likely to be an actual reference. When we assemble our own Mega Mecha Fighter to fight the Giga Queen, all the different characters are assembled in a way that feels very reminiscent to constructing a Megazord in Power Rangers. This reference is further reinforced by the music Powers Combine. This song is specifically made to match the main theme of the old Super Nintendo Power Rangers game.
Old Power Rangers game. Old Power Rangers game. I think I know the one that's being mentioned. I think I played it around age of 6. Yeah, you can play as a Megazord and fight against another robotic creature or monster. At least that's how I remember it. But I could be wrong. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about. It's so weird that I kind of actually remember it.
Going even further with that, the battle theme here, Knock You Down, shares a sound font with the end boss theme of that same Power Rangers game.
Okay, I might be wrong on that one, actually. I remember there being a Megazord game. Or is that also it, too? I don't remember well. I just remember there was a thing where you can pick a Megazord and fight.
And the way the characters start announcing my JPEG and other skills that they're contributing feels a lot like the assembling of the Fellowship of the Ring.
You have my sword.
And you have my bow.
And my axe.
All of the different Thrash Machine heads result in different special attacks. The Laser head has Laser mode, which has fast attacks, increasing damage somewhat and allows for faster punches for a turn afterwards. Sword head has Sword mode. Power up each hit, increases damage moderately and makes each successive hit stronger until the next miss. Flame head has Fire mode with power attacks, increases damage from attacks afterwards with about 420 initial damage on phase 1. And of course we have the Duck mode with sucky attacks. With the Duck head using the Duck mode attack, which are listed as being sucky, a totally sucking aura fired up. It's not that these attacks are bad, it's that they actually suck up life to heal you. I don't know the exact conditions, but after making it through the first 2 rounds without getting hit by specific attacks, the Queen will power up with this glowing blue aura. I believe it makes her faster and stronger, but it also results in her taking more damage. If no buttons...
Makes sense. You can't have a boss that's, like, completely impossible to beat. He has to have some weaknesses.
Are pressed when first trying to attack the Queen. Oh, did you forget how to control a giant robot? There are keyboard controls inside. Press the buttons to dodge and to punch, and if you whiff one more attack, one more time, press to dodge and to punch, which will then repeat on any subsequent failures. If you do not react to the Queen's big final baseball attack, I have more extremely slow moving, obviously punchable giant baseballs where that one came from. If you lose against the Giga Queen, she repeatedly ducks down, referencing the action of teabagging.
Yeah, that's a thing that I freaking hate. Because usually someone tends to teabag on my dead corpse in shooters. Freaking bath soaps.
Player games. I've seen it pointed out that this middle titan, seen when Ralsei describes the roaring, is quite possibly the statue that we give the umbrella to in Undertale. In the library at the end of the game, one of the books is on souls. In Undertale, it's established that monster souls are composed of love, hope, and compassion, while human souls do not need any of these traits. This appears to be further reinforced with this text, although it never specifies if we're talking about monster or human souls. The soul is considered to be the font of compassion, the source of our will, the container of our life force. But even now, the true function of it is unknown. People have theorized that this character will slide one position back per chapter, allowing us to access one more bookshelf at a time to obtain additional lore. I considered this next little cutscene somewhat unmissable, but several people have told me it might be worth including. At the end of chapter 2, far off to the south by this door, there is a little cutscene. You think it's true? You really think there's... What, you chicken? You got a beak and wings like a chicken? No, just... I ain't afraid. Only kids believe that stuff. But Chris, you gonna be a weenie like Chris? You want to say that again? Susie, didn't see you there. Wow, really something scary in there, huh? Sounds to me like you'd better worry about what's out here first. You okay, Chris? What's the deal with this place? Well, you don't gotta talk about it. If you try to head home before revisiting the original Dark World, hey Chris, shouldn't we go check on Lancer? He should be back in the school closet, right? Up by the lake, Onion mentions a song that they can hear by the sea. This could potentially connect to the character Shiren, who we see sick in the hospital. Looks like she's resting her voice. Onion even mentioned that the song was cut short. In my Pieces of Gaster Volume 2 video, I outlined ways in which Shiren has been given additional significance outside of these.
Over all these parts, the Gaster thing really makes me curious. Every time I think about it, it's like people know what's going on there, but don't bother, because they're not supposed to be there. Makes me curious why.
These games, so it would come as no surprise for them to be tied in a deeper way here. Yeah, I'm the sicko that looks at all the milks to find the best expiration date. You got something about it? Don't talk to me unless you want to look at milk. After the cutscene where Toriel and Asgore comes into Sans' shop, we can again talk to this weird cat. Can your family not come in here while I'm looking at milk? How about we don't look at anything? That's gonna make him say something stupid. Pickings are looking slim, ma'am. Just a bit of commentary on the way Sans normally comments on things, especially when seen in the casino of Undertale, where his entire purpose was to comment on things. There's actually one more layer to this magazine dialogue in Sans' shop. There's some car magazines on the racks. It might be fun to look at them, but there's other people around. In Mega Man Legends, there's some...
That game's shitty. There might be Mega Man fans out there that might think this game's good, but in my opinion, no. It's not really the best of the series. Mainly due to the ending, in my opinion. Because it's okay, they try to make it sound good and all that, but the purpose and goals are all gone and effed up to the point that no one can really care about it at all, so yeah. It basically sucks.
Magazines on the racks. It might be fun to look at them, but there's so many people around. You'd get in trouble if someone saw you. If we went knocking on this door back in Chapter 1, knock, 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 huh? That sounds like the knock of a beginner. Come back when you've gotten better at knocking. Now knocking in Chapter 2, knock, knock, knock. That knocking, it's amateur. You've still got a long way to go. We've moved up from beginner to amateur. Ooh, is that a human? If humans are made of bones, where does skeletons come from? The origins of Sans and Papyrus in both this game and Undertale are already so mysterious. I made an entire...
Yeah, I'm still curious with the whole skeleton monster thing. Because one thing, it's like regular monster stuff. Another thing, it's them picking they're just from the grave and all that, and other times they just exist and they reproduce normally, or they take a piece of themselves, because that gives the explanation about Gaster's hands and all that.
Video about Sans
So
that
yeah,
circles that idea.
so many
Heavily.
things to question.
Anya, there's something to this. In Chapter 1, Onion and Sans both told us to come back tomorrow. We've now seen the payoffs of those setups. We have one new one in Chapter 2 when visiting Hapstablu, when you indicate that you're there to see someone else. Fine. Want to talk to someone else here. Oh my, someone's here to see me? It's you again, is it, darling? Oh my, why do you keep coming to our door? Are you a fan of mine? As if someone could be a fan of a nobody like me. Well, if you are a fan, could I bother you for a favor? Since the internet went down, I haven't had much entertainment. If you have anything entertaining, darling, could you bring it to me by tomorrow? That would mean the world to me. Thank you. When inspecting the
Wait. Natsabluk is like a police officer who's in the police station at that time. Minton got married? Huh. That's weird. Never really expected that.
graves at the end of the game. These three rightmost graves represent the different monsters that were turned into amalgamates in Undertale. Susie will chime in when inspecting the one shaped like a moon with a microphone. So, this is your idea of hanging out, Chris? Going to the graveyard? Works for me, I guess. With this one specifically that we're blocked from being that for lemon bread, an amalgamate that was made out of Shiren's sister, again tying in this character. This is absurd, I'm a crazy person, but I'm pretty sure there's one more of these videos coming. It's already like 60% done, and I debated making one extra long video here, but I've fallen behind on your guys' comments. So I need to comb through the comments of the last few videos to make absolutely sure I've gathered as much information as I possibly can to remain fully comprehensive. And hey, while you're waiting, I have a huge video premiering on Wednesday sharing my thoughts on how I think the Star Wars franchise could be improved. If that's something you think will remotely interest you, then yeah, set yourself a notification. Come tune in. We're gonna watch it.
Dang. That already passed.
Together live.
That sucks.
If you don't care about that, maybe go wishlist a couple of those games on Steam. There's all kinds of things you could be doing. What are you doing listening to this end ramble? It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip this end ramble. Just so I don't take credit for what he's doing. Alright, that was like an interesting bit to go over. Honestly, I find myself enjoying the whole, near the end here. Okay, I enjoyed the Power Ranger thing, though. Honestly, that brings back memories. Especially the Power Ranger games I used to play. I'm not sure if the one I'm thinking about had a Megazord fight, but I could be wrong. But anyway. Yeah, this is interesting. Has some good bits. Has some funny parts. Has some intriguing information to keep note of. And so on and so forth. So not much to complain about. And there's not much to really say because it's pretty self-explanatory. But this Gaster bit just really catches my attention. Mainly because, again, like as always, Gaster is the most mysterious character in Undertale history. The information about him is very limited. And I'm pretty sure everyone would like to know who he is, what is he, and all this, and all that. And what did he do when he was around in his connection to Sans and Papyrus? And I mean a true one, because, let's be honest, I really want to confirm the fact if he's their dad or not, so, yeah. But yeah, with this all said, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button to support the channel, support the content, and so on and so forth. Hit the notification button, be notified immediately when a new video comes out. With all this said, once again, the link is in the description below. So be sure to give 2 left thumbs some love and support. Tell me your favorite part within this video in the comments section below. Now with all that said, I'll see you all next time. Bye!